Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but no, I did not quit Call of Duty Mobile. I was simply busy with vacation and a few other things, but I'm back now and I'm ready to continue to make videos. And I hope that you have been doing well as well. But today I think we should go through the 10th and 11th Battle Pass of 2021 as well as the current Battle Pass, which is the first one of 2022. So let's start before this video becomes too long, shall we? So the first one was season 10 of 2021 called Shadow's Return, and I'll say it right off the bat. This battle pass and like this whole season in general was very disappointing for me. I had very little playtime, and I'm usually not very. I don't have very high expectations all the time, so this one simply just missed the mark entirely. There are like a few good things, but they're overall, I wouldn't say that they would save the battle pass. But we start with tier one where Templar Unredeemed and the LK24 Vanquish start. And well, to start with the Templar looks fantastic. He looks like a very good skin. I would argue that it looks better than the original Templar skin we got on a lucky draw, where this one has way more details. And yeah, it looks a lot more worn down due to battle, but I think it looks way better than that original Templar skin they released. And then as for the LK24 Vanquish, which doesn't really have that many skins and passes, it looks pretty good as well. It's a good addition overall. And with that first year, you would think that we're in for some good stuff, but unfortunately, that's the only one out of two highs of this pass. But let's continue. So for tier 10, we have the AS Battle Tagger, which, in my opinion, while it does have some custom geometry, it has nothing good overall, in my opinion. It doesn't look that good, but it's simply one AS Battle that I'm going to forget in a few days at best. I'm only remembering now because I have to do this video and I had to look up everything. At tier 12, we have Alice Rhyme, which is a very forgettable skin. Uh, it's one that looks too plain, honestly. It could have been Groot, but it simply just ends up being plain and like a rare skin. And as for the what we got this season was a new score streak, which ended up being the Orbital Laser from Advanced Warfare. And the Orbital Laser was a good addition overall, but you will remember the Orbital Laser more for being a good score streak than for it being on this season. As for the new weapon for that season, we got the SVD, which I'm never going to complain about a new weapon, because a new weapon is always new content. And the SVD was overall a good addition. I hear that it's always tied with the SKS, even though they're kind of different in handling. But I don't want to spend too much time on this pass, so let's keep going. At tier 30, we have a ARM262 ARM skin called Silent Reaver, and this doesn't even look like an epic. Straight up, I'm going to tell you that this looks like a gunsmith based weapon, like base weapon of the KRM with some camo that isn't even a completionist camo. It's boring, it's uninspired, makes you wonder what happened, who who approved this, but it's never going to be remembered. Um, as for the tier 35, we have Jaeger Needle Wars, which at this point, if I have to talk about Jaeger, I'm only going to tell you right now that this looks like a scrapped idea for a character in the Suicide Squad, and it even looks worse than that movie's Joker. And we're not talking about the second Suicide Squad movie, which actually was good. We're talking about the first one, which was awful. And Jaeger is a scrapped idea of that movie, so it's absolute trash, absolute garbage. It it's too funny, but after that, it doesn't get better. At tier 40, we come to perhaps the bottom of the barrel because the PP-19 Bison Hidden Prowler makes an appearance, and as you know, by that point, the PP-19 Bison was already being spammed to hell and back. And let me tell you right now, this one does not do it any favors. It honestly had a lot of backlash at that point because there were way too many PB19 Bisons throughout that whole year, and this didn't make matters any better. Saw a lot of complaining about it on any place I saw. But other than that, here 50, we have the only other good thing about this pass, which is Stansfield plus the SPD Black Ironwood. Stansfield looks so dapper with his sunglasses and leather jacket, and the SPD Black Ironwood looks pretty nice, pretty clean to be honest with you. Nothing outstanding, but I would say that it's not a bad skin at all. I wouldn't even call it a good one. So with that awful season pass out of the way, let's make way for season 11, 2021, the final season called Final Snow. And okay, this one had a lot more winter theme, which is totally fine, and I dig that. And we even started off excellent as well, but unlike the previous season, we don't go down. So Bagger Molder, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure, but the Whisper of Winter is the name of this game. And well, Bagger Molder Winter Whisper of Winter is the name of it. And honestly, it looks cool enough. I do enjoy wolves, so this theme on this skin is pretty fun to me. But it gets a bit outshadowed by the KM44 Frosted Spikes, because the KM44 Frosted Spikes might be one of the best KM44 skins we've gotten ever. It might even be better than the Black Gold version we have. And I don't know if you guys check this much, but the KM44 Frosted Spikes has a really good diamond skin because the whole icy part also gets covered by gold a bit. But yeah, overall, I really enjoy this, and I also enjoy the Tier 10 Echo Tasty Treat because while it's a fun skin, it also looks pretty great when you also give it diamond camo. So when you have it without anything, it looks fun and it looks like a good skin. And when you have it with diamond, it looks like a threatening skin, which I dig, to be honest. So the Echo as well, pretty good addition. Tier 12, here you could argue this is the worst skin of this pass, but it's not even that bad. Honestly, Atlas Crash, though. And Atlas Crash is an interesting skin, though it might be a bit too clunky. I'd still use it without any problem. And on this pass, we got a new operator skill instead of a score trigger. And we got the munitions box. And let me tell you, that was one of the most useful additions in COD Mobile because it's helped me so much during my grind for Diamond with the D13 sector, which we'll talk about in the next video alongside a few other weapons. But that wasn't the weapon we got for the Battle Pass. In the Battle Pass, we got the PKM, which I'll talk a bit later when we get to the Tier 50 skin. For Tier 30, we got the MSMC Deceitful VD, which this one, personally, is the weapon skin that I like the least. It has a whole Krampus, it has a whole Krampus theme to it, and I'm not a big fan necessarily of it. It looks a bit too edgy for my taste, but I hope that it has enough fans. But it's not just the Krampus theme that makes it a lot less in my eyes. It's also the fact that we have had some MSMCs that looked amazing. The first one that pops into my mind is the original Season 6 Battle Pass, where the MSMC was the Tier 50 skin, and it had a really nice. At Tier 35, we have Tegan Huntsman, which I have come to respect Tegan a lot more here in COD Mobile, and he also has gotten a lot more new fans. New fans have come to respect Tegan because he looks very tactical, even though during Ghost nobody really necessarily liked the characters. So I'm glad that Tegan is getting a bit more respect. I'm surprised. I'm not even a fan of Ghost, but I've come to respect it. And then at tier 40 we get the best Man of War skin. the Wolf's Mane. And for this one, I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat that again, like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of wolves. So this one not only has that going for it, but it also looks like a railgun, and that to me is really awesome. So the Man of War Wolf's Mane gets nothing but props from me. It's one of my favorite skins in this game, and I hope that we get more like this. But we did get it with this season, but I will talk more about it in due time. As for tier 50, we get Soap Cliffhanger and the PKM Warrior. And well, Soap Cliffhanger is from one of the first few missions of Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2. And what I can say is that Soap is a fan favorite, so I don't think anyone is going to be complaining about Soap being on the battle pass, and especially being a tier 50. Definitely worth having, and I'm glad Soap is getting a few more skins than like what he did in Modern Warfare 29. But then again, he only got one, and it didn't look that good. And then the PKM got the PKM Boru, which an okay skin. It's passable. Not the best, but I think that it serves its purpose. And for the PKM, I will say right now that I haven't had much time using it, like at all. But from the gameplay I have seen, it's a very slow LMG, and I hope that that means that there's a lot of stopping power to this. But who knows? I will have to test it eventually. And then we come to season 1 of 2022 called The Heights, one of the best seasons so far. Well, so far for the year, of course, it's only one, but it just goes out of its way to give us some amazing deals, especially for those of us that buy the pass every season. At tier 1, we start off with Makarov Kingfish and the Fennec, the KF Executioner. So, let's start with Makarov. Makarov is one of the most loved villains in the Call of Duty series, especially because he comes from the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and this one looks even more detailed than the first Makarov skins they released. So already it's better than those. But also, I just enjoy how good he looks. He has the whole black, black thing going for it. And I know that this one is, this skin appears, I believe I think it appears in one of the most controversial missions in Modern Warfare 2, the No Russian mission that got banned, but it's not about that. I think overall this skin looks quite great. And the Fennec, the KF's Executioner, looks pretty great as well. I think it looks even more than like a crisp Vector than it ever did. And to me, that's a win in my book. As for the tier 10, we have the Man of War Starling Ace, which is a really good skin as well. It has custom geometry and all, but I have come back and forth on if this was better than the Wolf's Mane, and I don't think it beats it, but I do think it's a great addition, especially for those that missed last season. And well, I think that, well, the first thought that came into my mind when I saw the Man of War was that I hope that they don't start spamming this weapon to pass just like they did with the PP-19 Bison, but I have hope. As for the tier 12, Iskra and Whitechapel, I think it's a good addition for those that miss any of Iskra's previous appearances, so like the Halloween season, as well as the, I believe the Clan Wars skin they give you. I don't have the Clan Wars one. I do have the other one, but I don't use it as much. So Iskra Whitechapel is one I'm going to use a bit more, but it's a good game overall. I wouldn't say it's bad. And for this season, surprisingly, we got a new equipment piece instead of a force streak or an operator. It's the Stormball, which is a very useful piece of equipment from what I see. It negates any kind of self-healing, so I think especially for objective game modes like Domination or even Hardpoint, I think this will be a very tactical piece of equipment that will help clear out those that try to camp on a spot. As for the new weapon, we got a fan favorite coming back, the PPSH 41, and the PPSH from Black Ops Cold War, I believe it is. So it's one of the first weapons from Cold War that we're getting that isn't, well, a secondary like the Thumper. So I was hoping that with that maybe we could also get a Black Ops Cold War map, but I'm sure eventually we will. Other than that, I won't be talking much about it yet because I will save it for the tier 50. Uh, so the tier 30, the Rytech AMR Master Plan is what comes up next, and the Rytech got redeemed from the last time we ever got a Rytech on the Battle Pass, which that Rytech on that Battle Pass looked like just a rare skin. It wasn't that good looking at all, but this master plan looks like the complete opposite. It stands out to me, and it has custom geometry that makes it look so cool. It has so much decoration too. Well, for what I think of the Ride Tech, and I honestly really enjoy it. I really, really do. And then the Ajax Bouncer came right with it on Tier 3.5. And I think that it goes really well with the Ride Tech because they both have that whole black and gold kind of scheme. And Ajax looks cool enough, honestly. He looks very dapper too, quite elegant. Maybe like a mafia, though maybe like a Chinese mafia kind of deal. As for what comes after AGI, we got one, we got a legendary. I'm kidding. It's not a legendary skin, but it might as well be because it looks so good. It also, I would also argue that this PKM Gilded Lion, man, this PKM blueprint blows the PKM Boru out of the water immediately. Makes it look like a rare skin, but this one, I honestly have this weird theory that some developer in COD Mobile said, how about I make this legendary get into an epic and just got away with it. No one ever questioned it. But honestly, that's a win for the fans, I think. And I'm glad that we got this game. It looks like Diamond without the Diamond camera. And then finally, we come to the tier 50 where we get Yuri Braddock, the PPSH 41 Pistol Pro. Yuri apparently is not the Yuri from the Modern Warfare trilogy, but he looks pretty cool as well. He looks awesome. I think I may have a thing for leather jackets for me to really enjoy his skin. So Yuri also coming with a leather jacket like Stansfield made me really like the skin. And it doesn't make it like it also helps that Yuri looks like Stone from Black Ops Cold War, which is a really cool operator as well. That I really, really enjoy the skin. And let's not even mention the PPSH 41 Pistol A Pro. I'm already super biased about the PPSH that this skin being so clean makes me really enjoy it. It I really like the white and a little bit of red scheme it's got going, as well as it looking a lot more modern. So to me, this is also a win, and I look forward to unlocking Diamond and the PSH, which, by the way, is a very competitive weapon. I see it all the time, both in public matches and I see it on ranked matches. So it's a really, really good addition to this game. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's where we will be stopping for today because this video is already getting pretty long as is. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and I will hopefully see you next week where I'll talk more about some legendary skins and some mythic weapons we got, as well as the skins we got over season, like mid-season rather than on the past. But don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe, guys. So I'll see you next time. Take care.